Hat Trick Hockey is brought to you in part by Eric Stendel, Remax Capital Diamond Realty, servicing Windsor, Lakeshore, Tecumseh, LaSalle, and Essex County. As a third-generation realtor with a decade-long track record of multi-million-dollar production, Eric Stendel brings a wealth of experience to the table. With specialties in residential resales, investment properties, and new construction sales, Eric Stendel tailors his approach to meet the unique needs of his clients, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Contact Eric Stendel, Remax Capital Diamond Realty today for all your real estate needs. Call or text 226-345-9199 or visit his website, ericstendel.com. That's ERICSTANDEL.com. If he's got 99 in his number, shouldn't that tell you something? Contact Eric Stendel today. What's going on, all you beauts and beauties? Welcome to the Hat Trick Hockey Podcast, brought to you by GL Heritage, the official beer of HCH. I am your host, Brett Hedges, alongside the two best friends that anyone can have. The two best friends, just 15 years apart. The owner and creator of the Hat Trick Hockey Podcast, Anthony Gaudet, and Hockey Google himself, broadcaster extraordinaire, Tristan McGuire. Gentlemen, thanks for joining the show. And our folks at home, support our sponsors because they support us. Get your 20% off at biosteel.ca. Use your promo code HTH Hockey, and use the same promo code at Howie's Hockey Tape to get 10% off your order there.
Yep.
Gentlemen, good to see you. How are you?
That was a super weird freaking intro there, but hi,
Well,
boys.
you know what? I was just working the other day, and I just I'm just gonna hop on the NBC Sports Engine and see what's going on. And what do I hear but two of the most beautiful voices in the world broadcasting Essex 73's hockey games, just like you should be. And it's so funny because, there's so much build up, and you guys do so much work behind the scenes and stuff. And obviously I know you guys outside of the show, and when you guys are doing games, I can just tell them oh, my friends are happy. They're doing hockey games. They're just in their happy place right now. So from one broadcaster to another, welcome back to the hockey season.
Yeah.
How did it feel?
It feels glorious. Oh, it's so good to be back, behind the broadcaster's table and just watching 73's hockey, especially this past Tuesday, the redemption a bit from the home opener, which we'll talk about, but just being able to watch Essex, start to see things click was nice, especially against the team that came in Wheatley that was really solid, had a good record.
Mm-hmm.
It was good, it felt good to watch the players get back to it. Some of the guys who are returning, some of the guys who are not, whole new look on the team. But just hockey being back in general is good. Fall season around the corner. Fall, kind of my favorite season, honestly. It's kind of like it's a season of change, but in a good way. Leaves fall, beautiful colors. Obviously, as I mentioned already a few times, hockey. But even just outside of that, bit of time to focus on new things. So yeah,
for sure. And what was it like for you getting back in the booth?
Oh, it felt nice. It was good to be back. So, question for you guys though. Do you guys know, not counting this year, when was the last time Essex lost a home opener?
I bet I could tell you.
Tell me.
Okay, can I ask one qualifying question?
Yeah.
I know it, but let me ask questions first.
Well, is it in?
You would know. It's not that long ago.
Okay, I was gonna say
it's not like.
I'm gonna say it was 2018.
Nope.
Okay.
Over or under?
Close.
2017?
No, high, 2019. 2019 was the last time they
I should have said that season. My mind's thinking COVID's that year. Sorry.
And they lost 2-1 at home to who? The Lakeshore Canadians.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I bet I could tell you scored the winning goal on that.
Well, I couldn't tell you that. I just looked up.
I think it was
either
home
opener.
I think it was either Jake Nimmo or Brendan Soto.
Hmm.
One of those, or not Brendan Soto, Mateo Soto, or yeah, Brendan Soto. One of those two. But anyway,
Nice name drop, kid. That's a good one.
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I think it might have been Brendan Soto, but yes.
high stepping out of the gate here.
Yeah. Well, when you got a guy like Johnny F. and Moortown
Oh,
in
well,
the
you
Moortown
Yeah,
know,
Flags making 39 saves, uh, it's hard to win a hockey
casually.
game, right? But
Yeah.
man, what a start to the season for all the teams. Like
oh,
I we had talked about how solid the division was going to be prior to the season. Our last show, like we just talked about how everything was kind of up in the air, and I think the first week of games really illustrated that. We had Wheatley beat
yeah.
Moortown 8-2, then you had Moortown come beat Essex on their home opener. Um, Dresden and Essex had a couple of good games back and forth, and Amherstburg beats Dresden in overtime. Like
Hmm.
it's everything is going to the way that we expected, but not in the way that we expected at all. So hey, shout out to all the teams for making things interesting here. And you guys mentioned it on your broadcast when you guys were talking about how a bunch of different players have switched teams and have gone to different areas,
Yeah.
and it has leveled out the talent in the area. And I think it's a really astute observation because on any given night, all these teams can defeat one another,
Yeah.
right?
I
Hmm.
think honestly, bottom six of this division is going to be pretty level record. Both like everyone's going to be right around 500. I don't think. Okay, here's my take on this season. So they play 42 games. I think only I think only two teams are going to exceed 25 wins.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that is yet to be decided on who's going to be, right? It depends on who's going to get hot. Like as of the time of this recording,
Hmm.
Walpole is has played 5 games and they're 0 for 5,
Mhm.
but they've had some competitive games in there. I've heard really good things about their goaltender.
Yeah, it's Sterling.
And they've got some talent on that team. Just it's a tough draw.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. Right now, like it's so uneven because like Amherstburg's only played 2 games. They're 1-1, but the game that they did win, they won in overtime.
Hmm.
Dresden 4 games in, they're 1-2-1. They had a
Hmm.
good couple good games against Essex. They lost a game in overtime to Amherstburg. Wheatley 2-2. They had a really they blew the doors off of Moortown in their first game 8-2. They dropped at- I wouldn't say it was a stinker like against Essex because it was a pretty good game up until like the end of the second period when they started
Yeah.
taking all those penalties, and then a 7-1 finish is the product of that because Essex scored 5 power play goals in
Hmm.
that game, and they did a good job of staying out of the penalty box themselves. I think they only had one minor penalty.
Hmm.
Um, Blenheim 2-1, like we thought that they were going to be. They've got 12 goals for and 4 goals against
Hmm.
in 3 games, solid. Uh, Moortown Flags led by Johnny Chartrand, 5 games, 3-2 on the year. They got 16 goals for, 17 against, including those 8 goals against in their first
Hmm.
game against Wheatley. And of course, you got the Essex 73s, 4 games played, 3 wins, 1 loss. That 1 loss coming to Moortown. And you can't, like, they still put up 40 shots on goal in the loss to Moortown. So you
Yeah.
can't be upset about that. You ran into the best goaltender in possibly the whole province.
Yeah.
So, and you're going to have to play him a bunch more times this year. So
Hmm.
either way, you got to figure it out.
Fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then, of course, at the top, the Lakeshore Canadians 3-0. You know me, guys. I'm a Lakeshore guy, and it's
Okay.
good to see my Canadians up at the top of the division there, bringing back all the glory from back when Lee Harris played for the Canadians. So 16 goals for, 5 against,
Hmm.
and what can we say? It's going to be a dogfight in this division, and
Yeah.
it's been very entertaining. Every time I've turned on a game, it's been very entertaining.
Yeah. And one thing I don't think we made note of in Blenheim, because you mentioned them being in that top four.
Yep.
Grant Spence is behind the bench for them. Craig Spence's brother as the
Yes.
new head coach. very young staff, as well as Brody Fraley, an assistant coach who was an overager just last season. So very young coaching staff, almost taking the stance of being just an extension of the team, like best friends with all these guys. We'll
Hmm.
see how that plays. I'm sure it's going to be a positive vibe in that room.
Yeah.
And they're a pretty loaded roster with some of the names they picked up from other teams. Like they got Stephen Jacobs, Wheatley's leading scorer last year, just casually. And not only that, but they also have Tyler Trelout, who they picked up, forward or defense, kind of a Swiss Army knife there from Lakeshore, and he comes over to play. They got Evan Cote. Well, sorry, Evan Cote went to Lakeshore, but even still, Blenheim is kind of a whole new look team, and they picked up
Mhm.
players that'll be good for them. Like they got, oh, what's his name? Now I gotta pull up his name. David.
Well, while you look that up, just the fact that they have the new head coach and Spence, like he's been
Mhm.
Yeah,
all over the place playing high level hockey. I believe he played at the University of Windsor under Kevin Hamlin.
yeah.
And and another Windsor Lancer alum, Brennan Feasy, is now the head coach of the Chatham Maroons. So good to see the Kevin Hamlin coaching tree spreading its leaves in the PjHL and the GOHL as well.
Yeah.
Did you get that name?
Yeah,
Real,
David Brown
yeah,
Okay.
from the London Nationals.
real,
Big pickup.
Mhm.
yeah, real quick before because I know we're kind of probably getting ready to move on from the PjHL, but Essex was in Dresden one of the first games of the year, and Ben Robertson, I just want to let you know we're thinking about you, buddy. Ben broke his leg there on a play. He had surgery. He's at home resting. He's doing well. Him and I have chatted and stuff like that. So Ben, take care of yourself, buddy, and we're thinking about you. And
Yeah,
need you back on the ice here. You might have got hurt early enough to where you might actually be able to get back in the lineup later in the season. So hopefully you do and everything goes okay. And we want to see you right back on the ice, buddy. So
Yeah, of
best
course.
of luck.
Quick recovery to Mr. Robertson.
Yeah. Yeah.
from one guy who broke his leg to another.
Exactly. So just saying, let's
Just
go,
don't go
baby.
walking on any decks anytime soon.
Yes. Don't fall through a deck like I did.
For sure. Um, any other thoughts on the division going forward? I know that the at the time of this recording, the Essex 73s have a game on Sunday against Blenheim. I'm really looking forward to watching that. And then of course
Yeah,
we'll return to host the following Tuesday on the first game of the year for them in October. So that's exciting stuff.
the one thing to look for is on Sunday. I think they've been saving this for Essex. Blenheim has not played David Brown, and as far as I know, he's not hurt. So maybe they're kind of saving their big gun lineup for when the 73s roll in and
Yeah.
see how they stack up. And that will be a good game. I will be tuning into NBC Sports Engine to watch that.
For sure. Essex is playing Blenheim on Sunday, the 28th. And then, of course, sorry, I misspoke. Dresden is coming to Essex on the last day of September before we turn over the clock to October. So it'll be the third time that Essex plays Dresden in the
Already.
first
Wow.
6 games of the year. Bit of an unbalanced schedule, but you got to play who you got to play. The next weekend, Essex plays at Walpole on Saturday afternoon at the Walpole Island Complex. And then the next weekend, that's when Essex hosts Blenheim on October 7th. So big things coming. I can't believe that we're almost in October so far in the year. And before we move on to any other different leagues, some news that broke just after we recorded our last podcast was that Ken Dryden passed away.
Yeah.
Legendary Hockey Hall of Famer, legendary goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens, won 6 Stanley Cups in like 8 years,
It.
including one year where he took off for a year to go become a lawyer because he didn't like the offer that the Montreal Canadiens got him. Like Montreal and a lot of different people. Actually, well, Ken Dryden was also the president of the Toronto Maple Leafs
Hmm.
for a long time, and he's the author of The Game. I have that book as well.
Yep. Great
Good
book.
read. I read it when I was 13 or 14, and I loved the stories about Scotty Bowman
Yeah,
and all those guys uh, in there. Um, a nice guy. I got to interview him when he was the keynote speaker at the Windsor Essex Sports Person of the Year Awards, which is
wow.
run by Dom Papa. He gave a nice speech about grassroots hockey and everything about that. It was like an hour plus long speech, but like he gave all the time that he could to people for like the meet and greets and the signings and
Mhm.
stuff. And just a gracious person and a wonderful ambassador of hockey and a great Canadian overall. I do believe he got the Order of Canada as
Yeah.
well during his life. So Tristan, I know your dad is a Montreal fan. He must have been hurting knowing that Ken Dryden is out of this world. Now what are your thoughts when you heard the news about Ken Dryden? What can you share about the man, the legend, the stance, the
Yeah.
goaltender
Yeah.
stance himself, Ken Dryden?
Well, obviously, it goes without saying, but absolute legend. Um, Not just in the sense of the player he was and how his name resonates, but the person he was. Like you think about this guy's just from reading his book, the IQ he must have had to leave hockey and pursue um, the legal avenue and politics. Just a brilliant individual. Probably like an IQ over 150. Very successful. Knew what he wanted out of life. Enjoyed every chapter of it. Um, and cataloged it very well. But you think about how he revolutionized goaltending. A 6'4" goalie. That's something we see to this day. Size is a necessity in between the pipes, and somewhat introducing a butterfly style as well. He was a difference maker, to say the least. Like people will say, "Oh, well, he's on a stacked team." Then, yeah, name any other goalie on a stacked team putting up a 930 in that era. You don't find any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable. Like 6 years in a row, 930 plus save percentage, or at least a 925. You think about his rookie season, comes in, he won the Conn Smythe. Like that's insane. That's almost unheard of.
Yeah,
Uh,
before he was technically a rookie because he only played 12 games in the regular season,
right.
became the starter throughout the playoffs. They win. He just absolutely lights it up. And then the next year he's like, okay, now I'm gonna win the Calder as the rookie of the year. Right. So
Just an incredible story. Um, Dominant career, one of the
yeah.
most dominant, in my opinion. I would rank him easily in the top five. I think I talked with you about this, Brett. I think I would have him as the third best goaltender all time, behind
Fair.
behind only Patrick Waugh and Dominic Hasek, and then I
Yeah.
would probably put who's the one Russian goaltender there, Vladislav Tretiak,
Yeah.
and then I'd put Martin Brodeur, which was a hot take. A lot of people put Marty Brodeur in their top three, not me personally, but
Well, especially because when you look at how short his career actually was, he only played 8 professional career seasons, I
yeah,
That's
believe it
crazy.
was. And then
Six
he
cups.
hung it up and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go be a lawyer now, and I'm
yeah,
gonna
like,
go
Yeah,
in
I'm tired
Edmonton.
of winning.
and you think about the implications of him leaving.
Oh,
Fast forward to the 1983 season, uh, or sorry, 1985-86. There's a heavy chance he's still Montreal's starter, and Patrick Roy's career never takes off.
yeah,
So the butterfly effect of him, pun intended, I guess that works, but him leaving, had implications for Montreal's future. Does Montreal win that cup in '86? If they hang on and say no, we're going to be loyal to Dryden, does he still have enough to bring them there? Or was that because Patrick Waugh was Doctor Overtime and helped them to that final?
yeah.
We'll never know. But I think just how much Ken Dryden did for the sport and the position of goaltending alone is why, he's obviously a Hall of Famer and one of the greatest goalies of all time.
And dude,
And you think about
four
yeah.
out of those 8 years too, he led the league in like wins too, 4 of 8 years.
Oh, yeah. Well, he had 50 plus wins in the 76-77 season, I believe.
Well, the
Uh,
77 Canadians are considered the greatest team of all time.
yeah, they went 68-2, which is like what? Like that's ridiculous. Like what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like
And to think about his impact during the Summit Series as well in 1972, like he was Canada's starting goaltender. Well, I think he played 5 out of the 8 games because him and Tony Esposito split the
yeah,
net there. But just the fact, he's there. He's there for Team Canada. He's there for the Montreal Canadiens. Just think about like you can't think of Canadian hockey, either Montreal Canadiens or Team
Dude,
Canada in general, without Ken Dryden being there, right?
when
yeah.
when he went to Cornell, right? In 67, 68, he played 29 games there, right? His goals against was a 152. He had a 938 save and he went 27 and 2.
Wow.
He's all this
And
while being brilliant and raising
Yeah.
a family. He had kids very young, like all
yeah,
through his
Crazy.
career and schooling. So that's one of those guys where he probably looks back on his life and is pretty pleased with how it was lived. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
pretty
For people that
stressful.
don't know, Cornell is an Ivy League school in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he went to McGill during the year that he was off because he went to go to law school there because
Mhm.
I forget what the details were about like his contract negotiation, but he didn't like the offer. He says, "Okay, I'll sit out a year, and I will go get my schooling, and then we'll come back next year." And then he came back the next year, and they won.
Yeah. And
And
the
imagine that,
the
like
most the most he ever played like game wise in a season was 71, 72. He played 64 games.
unreal.
That's wild.
that's insane. And what did he have? What did he have? Like
Um
53 wins or
so
something?
he had a 224 goals against. He had a 930 save percentage. Is
Wait,
that good?
what was his win to loss ratio?
It was 39, 8, and 15.
Oh, because they had
I think
draws
he
back
had
then.
They
ties.
had
Yeah,
ties back then. And
Yeah.
then in the playoffs that year, he what did he do in the playoffs?
Mop
Oh,
the
he
floor.
no, he only had 6 games. 2 and 4.
Oh, so at the
Right here.
time maybe I think Michel Larocque would have been their starting goalie.
Okay. But
Bunny
yeah,
Larocque?
but
Uh,
still though,
yeah,
64 games is insane.
yeah, no
yeah,
kidding.
that's incredible. So, uh, Ken Dryden, incredible legend. I
Hmm.
uh I got his autograph for my dad when I interviewed him when he came down to Windsor and was the keynote speaker for that ceremony. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish my schooling that year. I had to go back the year after, and like
Hmm.
to kind of like break the news to my dad that like, hey, like I wasn't able to complete all my credits, but like here's Ken Dryden's autograph. Like I was like kind of my way of saying like I'm on the right path. Like please just like please
Don't
know that this is exactly what I should be doing.
Yeah,
And like although like I may have come up short this year, like look at this. Like I'm making strides. I'm doing the right things. I'm meeting the right people. And like man, like and that autograph from Ken Dryden is still on the mantle in my parents' basement, and I'm proud of that. So
yeah.
good.
for anyone that has feelings about Ken Dryden passing away, our thoughts are with you. Obviously, like I think back like my uncle lived with my grandparents right in Colchester, and when I was a little kid, I would go up into his old room, and they would have and I would go through these old newspapers that he had stacked away from those years from the 70s Canadians, and it was Ken Dryden on the cover, or it was Dryden leads Canadians to 3-2 overtime win. I just
Yeah,
remember like of all those players, and we could list all those legendary players from the Montreal Canadiens in the
yeah.
70s. Like to me, it's about like the person that stands out the most is Ken Dryden and Yvon Cornwallis, just because he has an awesome last name and he could shoot the puck with both hands. So
Yeah.
That's awesome. And shout out to the man who did not mind looking like a tool if it meant winning a cup, Steve Shutt. With his helmet, he
shot,
looked he looked like they had concerns about him being hurt. His helmet was like so thick, it was like a custom Jaffa, and he's just skating out there on Guy Lafleur's wing. Oh man, that was
yeah,
funny. Stevie Shutt, yeah, legend, underrated. No one talks about him like ever because he wasn't French, or he might have been, but not like
Yeah.
original
Fluent.
francophone. Anyway,
So we think about just like I'm just gonna try and name off some of those Canadians off my head. Obviously, Guy Lafleur,
Hmm.
Larry Robinson, Yvonne Cornwallier, Ken Dryden. Who else
Bob
you got?
Gainey,
Bob Gainey, that's right.
Jean. Well, earlier by Jean Beliveau. Uh, Larry Robinson.
Yep.
I couldn't name you another defenseman on that team, honestly, though.
And that's unfortunate because that team was absolutely dominant. But when I think of the 70s Canadians, I think of Guy Lafleur and
Yeah.
Ken Dryden and Larry
Yeah.
Robinson.
I
Right.
think there was Guy Lapointe as well.
Lapointe, yes, very
Oh,
good.
and I do know there's two brothers, the Mahavliches, Pete and Frank
Yes.
Mahavlich, and then Jean Pronovo. I don't know if he was still there at the time, but yeah. So
Ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen, this is why he's hockey Google.
I could be blending
I'm
in a
sitting here
couple
like,
areas there, like
Wind
he's
them
over
up
there
and
just
let them
rattling
go.
but
names.
I can't think of any other defensemen. I'm sure I'm missing one. Like whoever played with Robinson probably had silly stats, but
And there's
Lyle
probably like
Odeline.
1,000 people listening right now, like, you guys are idiots. Why can't you name these guys? Like,
Someone's out there just pounding on his steering wheel, mad at
actually,
us because he.
there is another name that I do know. Uh, uh, I think his name was like Jean-Claude Tremblay. I think was another
oh,
defenseman.
yeah, JC Tremblay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jacques Lapierre was another defenseman. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so there's a couple names in there that I do
The
know.
Frencher it
Guy
is, the
Lapointe.
more
What do I say?
French
Guy Lapointe was
accent.
the defenseman. Guy
Yeah.
Lapointe was a defenseman. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so we know they're top four. There we go.
And like that 77 team is considered from all like the rankings that I've ever seen, like that team is ranked number one. And I would love to go through like for a standalone episode, maybe in the summer one year, just go through, do a
I got
deep
something
dive
cool to
on
show you guys.
Oh boy.
do a deep dive on like the top 5 or 10 teams because that 2002 Detroit Red Wings team
Yeah.
is
Had about
is number two.
yeah,
On a
had
lot of
about
those.
35 Hall of Famers on it.
Yeah, those guys are for the most part like that's it's either the 77 Canadians or the '02 Detroit Red Wings that are the top ranked
Yeah,
teams of all time.
I would
So
say so.
You want to
what do
see
you got,
something
kid?
cool? So I found this in a thrift store for I think like $3.
So describe
Pretty
it for our
cool.
folks that are just listening.
Oh,
So
The
it's a
listeners-
complete cataloged history, year by year, of the Montreal Canadiens, and it
Okay,
was
so Tristan's got
written.
a nice hardcover book here. It's almost like an encyclopedia.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
about 900 pages.
yeah, it's written in 1980, so it highlights all the glory years, and it has exact like. So you know we have Hockey DB now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It basically has an entire Hockey DB at the back of the book of every single Montreal player ever, even if they played only one game.
that's sick.
So like you'll find names here of random guys, height and weight. It has their career that they had outside of hockey because many of these guys worked double careers.
Yeah, car
And
salesman.
yeah, like exactly, yeah. It's hilarious and it's half French, half English too and everything. So it's really cool. And then you get nice you'll get nice color photo prints
Those are
about every
great.
10 pages. So it's a really nice, really nice book. So that's if we ever did get together and talk about that team. This would talk about even little
I'm,
nuanced games. It has articles from every single
I
game in the
mean,
Montreal Tribune or whatever.
I mean that'd
Uh,
probably be a good idea for the like summer. You could pick like the top 5 teams ever and just do like one episode per team and just really
oh,
go into a
love
deep
that.
dive.
And even teams that you think about never did anything with the team they had, but the
Yeah,
potential they had to do. Like I think of some of the middle years, like Vancouver Canucks are some of the most stacked teams ever, and some of those guys only became who they were once they left.
Mhm.
Like who's the one who always gets cited there? You left and went to Buffalo. Um,
I'm not sure.
not Trevor Linden, the other one, the other guy. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, 11-year-old me would have loved that book because
It's pretty cool.
basically everything about like the Stanley Cup or like the Hockey Hall of Fame back in the day, like it talked relentlessly about the 1970s Canadians. So like I thought I knew a decent amount about the 70s Canadians, and then not even close when I
You
find
know
when
nothing.
I know. And you sit in the penalty box and you'll feel shame. Yeah,
You will
Yeah.
feel shame.
yeah.
You go to
Uh,
the box.
Any other thoughts about Ken Dryden or the '70s Canadians?
Legend.
Pat McGuire's listening right now, like, why didn't you say this or say that?
He's downstairs in the kitchen going, wagging his finger.
He feels his ears burning right now.
Yeah.
Um, New development in junior hockey. We won't go too crazy in the OHL because it's only 2 games in the regular season. And spoiler alert: the Windsor Spitfires are really really good. Uh,
Wagon. Oh my lord.
the GOJHL is no longer the GOJHL. They have officially become an official development league for the OHL. And just today, right before that, we recorded, as of September 25th, they officially dropped the J out of their league's name and they are now the GOHL. So this has been something that has been on the horizon, whether like the GOJHL was always like a de facto development league for the OHL. A lot of their draft picks would go there, but it wasn't like set in stone that they would go there because obviously these players go play everywhere else, like the
Yeah.
NOJHL or the OJHL or SSJHL. So all those leagues that I
Sage.
previously talked about were are now officially in discussions to become official development leagues with the OHL. What that pertains in the future, I'm not sure. What I think might happen is that you might get a few more 16-year-olds per roster on those respective teams so that, some of those kids go to teams that their drafted team want them to go to. Um, but other than that, like I don't really have too much to say about it. It's a partnership that makes a lot of sense because of the longstanding relationship that those two leagues have had together. What are your guys' thoughts about this partnership, or just the fact that the GOJHL is now the goal, the GOHL goal?
I like that. Yeah. I'll let you kick it off, Ant.
About time. Well,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They've been
Yeah.
pretty well like working together anyways. Like, what, why not just make it official now? So now it's
yeah,
all official. So now we're crispy. So now everybody's, and it would be cool if they did add like 16-year-olds, you know what I mean? Give each team one more, because then it creates a little something for the younger guys too, not just the older guys, right? It gives them more of a shot because how many times have we seen, because us, we're only allowed one on the roster, and you get two really good ones out there and you have to pick one, like, you know what I mean? It sucks. So that'd be nice to see. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot I can really say on it. They've been kind of at it anyways for years anyways now. So is it the Greater Ontario Hockey League now? Is that what it's called?
correct.
Okay, well, I mean, it's got a nice little ring to it as well, so
Yeah.
Yeah, what I saw on Instagram was that a lot of people are saying like, "Hey, it's just like the NBA and it's the G League." Like it's the G League, it's the development league, and that makes sense.
yeah.
Um, in the future, if it allows more of the younger players to go there right out of being drafted instead of, being
Going
in
back.
limbo kind of a thing. Because like the perfect example is last year with Matt Crawford.
Yeah.
He is drafted by the Peterborough Petes. He's maybe one or two cuts away from being on a team, but he doesn't quite make it. Junior B team has already got their 16-year-old chosen for the year, so he comes down to Essex and plays his 16-year-old year here. That's a great thing for Essex,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like, you know what? If that rule is different, he might be playing at a different level all year, right? So now he's in Leamington in the Junior A, which is great because he got to get a ton of ice time in the PjHL and get
Yeah.
some development, just like like Brett Brochu got a lot of ice time by playing for the Dresden Kings, and then
I think he
went up to
played
Winnipeg
like
Knights.
I think he played like 38 games for them that year.
Oh
When he
yeah,
was a 16-year-old, he played almost every single game. I remember going up to watch him in Dresden and just being like, they never played the backup. It's like, yeah, yeah,
but yeah. So whether that means that the OJ and the North Ontario Junior Hockey League and any other team becomes a development league, good. Like
Yeah.
it's all they're all working toward getting them toward that pipeline, right? And especially because of all the guys going to the NCAA now, because
Mhm.
of the rule changes, it changes the landscape of junior hockey in Canada
It
big
really
time.
does.
More
So these guys
exposure
are hanging
too.
on to their NCAA eligibility. That means they can go play wherever they want now.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
and it makes things a lot more smoother when you have like a set in stone process for where a player is going to go, like you mentioned, Brett, already. Rather than having that uncertainty, they can always know, okay, this team, this is our affiliates. Anyone who doesn't make our affiliate roster, um, you go back to AAA. Everyone else, you have an opportunity to play with a big club, right? So it should just be players in a development, as opposed to where you sign guys just to have that roster be good for that league. Obviously, you want that success with your rookies that are going to develop. You just don't want a bunch of young guys who are going to be going from AAA to be like, what the heck, because there will be experienced veterans at that level, but still finding that balance of, you want them to go from here to here to here in a whatever 2, 3 year succession, as opposed to, okay, why is this guy got to go back down? Why is he got to come up? Like, well, all of a sudden, why is he on our roster for this long? And then, like you mentioned, with those leagues that aren't affiliated, it
Mm.
makes it clear what their purpose is, right? So the OJ now will become those guys who aren't quite at that OHL level, but still unbelievable talent, and they know kind of what their career is going to be. And that NCAA is probably where it ends. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
Whereas that junior is the progression of growth. I think NCAA is the end goal for a lot of those guys who end up leaving the OJ with a fantastic career and then move on to play either OUA hockey or NCAA, whether it's Division 1 down to Division 3, anywhere in there, those guys can fit in.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like as we've discovered over the years, like there is a ton of college hockey out there. Like, no, there are like multiple leagues. Like, talk about Tyler Fleming going to play for the
Yeah,
Metro Jets. Like, I didn't know that that league existed, right? And I know that there's like the Superior, like the SIJHL and stuff like that. And
Tidge,
there's a
yeah.
bunch of different ones like these guys can go to. So if there is a if having that NCAA eligibility forces them to go elsewhere because they just want to hang on to that eligibility and not play a game in OHL. Different now because the rule has been scrapped. Like it creates a big landscape. So having this development league between OHL and the GOHL makes a ton of sense, and I'm all for it. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
You're
but
wrong.
in the early 2010s, was there an official partnership between the CCHL and the OHL?
Oh, that's another league that's looking to get in
Because
partnership as well, but I don't think so.
I feel like I always can, when I look at like former and like NHL players,
Yeah.
a lot of them that before they went to the OHL, it was CCHL. Like the
Yeah.
majority of them were CCHL players. And
Yep.
you're like, oh, wow, okay. Um, like it's a very common league to come from.
Mhm.
Every
For
once
sure.
in a while, you see guys who were PjHL players. I think of Joel Hanley on the Calgary Flames now. He played like 2 years in Georgina. Like he was an undrafted player, 2 years in Georgina, and then he ended up going, as we talked about, NCAA route, get picked up from there, and look at this. Now he's a, fifth or sixth defenseman on contending teams. So yeah,
Unreal. So pretty cool. And talk about how college hockey can change while we're on this conversation. Um, Colton Smith is not at Clarkson University anymore. He is at the University of Windsor. So
yeah,
Ant saw him in the summer. He was following up the 401. I don't know any more details than what was explained in the Windsor Star and on Power Play Sports, but he said he ran into some issues with the NCAA. Clarkson University's loss is the University of Windsor's gain, and I think that Kevin Hamlin and the Lancers are going to be absolutely thrilled to have Colton Smith on their roster this year. And I would assume some season tickets bumped up in sales based on that signing alone. What are your thoughts on that, boys?
he's a special player.
Hell yeah!
Gonna help the Lancers
Yeah.
big time. You think about him rocking like nearly a goal per game last year in the OJ. Uh, yeah, he's gonna dominate the OUA. He is a player built for OUA hockey. Like you think about those fun challenges they do before the summer showcases or World Juniors, when they have like the OUA play the World Junior team.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. And he's one of those guys who's going to take some kids to school, I think, when that happens. But yeah, good for him. I wasn't aware of that, so
Mhm.
it'll be cool to have him back at the U.
for sure. You might be sharing some classes with him, Tristan
He's
McGuire.
he's a 2004 born, right?
I believe so.
Yes. Okay.
Jesus, I graduated high school in '04.
Oh man.
Back then, Ann had to walk to school uphill both
Yeah,
ways in the snow,
barefoot.
barefoot. They didn't have shoes
Yeah.
back then,
No, they didn't
eh?
even have shoes back then, man.
You fought a
Yeah.
Tyrannosaurus Rex on the way.
I did. Luckily, I had longer arms.
No, he just fought his brother on the way there.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Over under, you and Drew got into 35 fist fights growing up.
Oh, probably way over.
And that's fist fights. You talk about fights where foreign objects were brought into it,
I
probably
mean,
double that number.
maybe. Possibly. I mean, anything's possible, but I mean, we weren't too bad. Like the older we got, obviously it kind of chilled out a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, we had some Royal Rumbles. But yeah, man, having him here now in Windsor, Smith coming to the Lancers. Okay, I guess we got a spot for you. We'll take you, like come
Yeah.
on. Obviously.
Think about
So,
that poor left winger who made it out of camp.
yeah,
He's like a walk on and he's like, let's go. And then they're just like, yeah, sorry.
go to the
I'm sorry,
box
you're going
and
to be a black ace from the season.
hat.
Exactly.
Yeah. Press
Yeah.
box hat trick with the hot dogs.
Yeah. I'll look up their schedule real quick because I am going to be doing some of their games this year on OUA TV.
Awesome.
Ooh.
So if you guys aren't too busy, you guys can join me on the broadcast on some of those games there.
I might
I would
actually
love to
take
do
you up
that.
on that too one day as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
so me and so a long time ago, I did some other games a long time ago, but like before I worked at Chrysler, and when I was unable to do their games because of like work and everything, I didn't give the job, but I kind of like recruited a guy that I knew from St. Clair. His name's Cody Roussan, and he's done a fantastic job. He and I did the Queen's Cup together a couple years ago, and he does a great job. But he also works at Chrysler now too, and we're on opposite shifts. So it's like if one of us can't do it for due to work, the other one can. So we'll be tag teaming the men's and women's hockey program here. So for those who are interested, the Windsor Lancers home opener is October 5th. That's a Sunday, and they're playing the York Lions. So then they won't be home until October 25th against Waterloo. So if you guys are interested, come out to Capri Pizzeria Recreational Center, the CPRC. It used to be South Windsor Arena, right on Polford Avenue there, and you guys can check it out. I believe tickets are like $10. So if you can, it's a really fun level of hockey. A lot of former OHL guys on the team, on both rosters there. Like back when a few years ago for Ryerson, Troy Passingham was on the Ryerson Rams, and just like every roster's got a handful of guys that played either the OJHL or the OUA, and Windsor did a pretty good job last year. I believe they got to the OUA West finals. I don't or the semifinals. They won a couple playoff series there. And I did one of their games against Waterloo in the playoffs. And that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think they played Waterloo, then they played Lakehead. And
Okay.
but Kevin Hamlin, as we all know, he's an absolute beauty. He's been
Yeah.
running the program for 17 years now. He's got them to, I think it's four. He's been to four national championship tournaments. They won the Queen's Cup. I want to say that was 2014. They've been there. They've won
Yeah,
bronze
I
a
know
couple
that team.
years.
Chad Shepley was on that team.
You're right. He was on that
Legend.
team. Uh,
Legend.
I played football. I played high school football with Chad.
No
Uh,
way.
yeah, he was
Actually?
yeah. Yeah, when he was
Wow.
playing with I think it was right before he started playing with the Vipers or right
Yeah.
after. Sorry, I think it was right before. He might have been in grade 11, and then he maybe made the roster like the Vipers the next year. But yeah, he uh he 6'2", like solid defensive back. Like he just was an athlete. We'd just throw him back there. I
Yeah.
mean, wasn't a pure football player because how often did he play football? Right, he was always playing hockey. But hey, great teammate, great guy, and former LaSalle Vipers head coach there. So, um, other games, yeah, they got the 25th against Waterloo. Lakehead comes to town on November 8th. Then Guelph's in town on November 19th. I believe that's a Wednesday game. November 28th against Waterloo again, the 29th against York. And that's their season before Christmas. So yeah, the nice thing about the OUA schedule is that they basically get all of December off because of exams and then Christmas break, and then they
Yeah.
come in early January and they get going again. So it's a busy schedule. It's 24 games in the regular season, and then they hit the playoffs in like mid-February. So it's a lot of fun. So if you guys are around, well, I'll let you guys know. You guys can hop on the mic with the old boy, and we'll have some fun doing that.
We'd
Yeah.
love to do that. I know half the guys on that team, so
Oh,
it'll
for
be cool.
sure.
Like you got
They're
local
copying.
guys,
They're
Alex,
copying your homework, Tristan.
Caden Faust, Alex Cunningham, um, Ray Hamlin. Okay, is Ray related to Kevin?
Yes, he's his youngest son.
Okay, I was gonna say because there's a few. There's
I believe.
There's
Yeah,
Tyler Hamlin.
yeah.
There's Ray. There's
Brady is.
Brady. Yeah, those are the three, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Tyler
sure.
plays on Lakeshore. Brady plays on LaSalle.
Yes.
And
I think Brady's the youngest. Yeah, I'm sorry.
yeah.
But I will get that. You know what? Maybe we'll have Kevin Hamlin come on and chat with us about it. He's an
In
absolute
studio.
beauty.
In studio.
Oh, even better. Yeah, he's got a great story too because he just posted this on his Facebook profile the other day. Like he was going to play somewhere locally, and then Brad Smith, Motor City Smitty, put in a
Yeah.
call for him to go to camp with the London Knights. He made that team and then played in the OHL for 4 years. And
That's
so
awesome.
like he owes a lot of his career to Kevin Hammond. And you said that he was one of your earlier interviews, right?
Motor City?
No, Kevin Hammond. Well, Motor City
Both
as
of
well.
them. Both.
So it'd be a nice return to
Beautiful.
HTH Studio. So,
Mhm.
anything else that you boys want to chat with? I know Ant's got a date because he's
Well,
got to
I
go to
don't
the
have a
Red Wings.
date, Brett. I have a chiropractor appointment. Like, don't get me in shit. I get myself in enough shit as it is. Okay.
No, I meant you're gonna
You got a date with your
Okay.
chiropractor?
going out with
Yeah,
the
I'm going to the
boys.
chiropractor today. I had a massage earlier. I'm going to the chiropractor now. I woke up today. I couldn't even move. Like literally, I tried like a boiling hot shower too. Not like it just wouldn't loosen up my neck. So I'm gonna go to the chiropractor today because I'm going to the Red Wings game tonight with E, and
Mm.
so I want to be able to like be like functional at the game. So
Yeah, watch the Sabres get waxed.
well, like I said, I hope they dress some of the big dogs so that way E can at least see a few of them. Like I hope Kane's in the lineup tonight.
We'll
Well,
see.
the preseason roster. How are they going to fit all those 9 goalies on the bench? Like,
Yeah, no shit. You
but
have two
Actually,
there
you
just to
might
clean up
see
penalties.
I
Kosa
think
might
Post is
start
playing.
tonight. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll be sitting right behind them.
Yeah,
6'6" goalie.
Yeah, give us your analysis on the preseason after that game for sure.
Well, hopefully E doesn't like eat like a complete savage like he does when he goes to the 73s game. He goes to a game there, it cost me 20, $25. I can imagine what he's going to do at a Red Wing game. So
Full
tell
dinner
him,
before you leave.
I'll have to tell him, well, we're going with like Miller, myself, E, my like father-in-law, so I don't have to drive. So I'm going to tell him, hey, just starting to get into the beer fun a little bit there, little buddy. So no, I'm just joking. But obviously, but I want to hit the team store too because I want to get one of those 100th anniversary shirts.
Yeah, it's a big
My-
year for the organization, and we all like to joke about everything, but I truly hope that they can turn things around this year.
Oh,
Their uniforms are sick.
yeah, they won't be wearing those
Sweet.
tonight, unfortunately.
No. But I'm saying
Those,
they're wearing them for the home opener.
yeah, those are nice.
Also, I was gonna make a comment, Ant. They
Uh-oh.
might give him another look tonight, but there's a seventh rounder who has been giving some resonance with his name in the Wings organization. A lot of fans are saying this guy has a real legit shot at making the roster. He's been practicing on the top line on the wing of Larkin and Raymond.
Mhm.
His name
Okay.
is Emmett Finney. He's a former Kamloops Blazer, led a very bad Kamloops Blazers team with like 86 points in 50-something games. And not just that, he comes into the Wings organization and he had a gross night the other night, a goal and an assist. And his assist, did you see it? It was a drop pass back between the legs into the slot
Yeah, I
to
did see
Carter
that
Mazur,
one.
who
Yeah.
one-timed it. That's Emmett Finney. Like this kid's awareness and hockey IQ through the roof, and he is blazing fast. And get this, he grew 2 inches and put on 20 pounds in the past year. Um,
That's wild.
yeah, like he went from being like he was drafted at like 5'10" or 11, and now he's like 6'2" and 190 pounds. Like he grew a lot. And
Sweet.
he's gonna be a good player on this Red Wings team.
Good.
I'm still waiting for my growth spurt to hit.
Me too.
I've been sitting at 5'10 3/4" for about 19 years now. So I'm
Hmm.
trying to check out this clip from Finney here before I can.
Yeah, he's a brilliant player. Very good edge work, good shot, just smart. Like
Hmm.
he's NHL ready in my opinion.
Yeah, he's
And
20 years old.
yeah, he could make a name for himself. You know, he gets on that top line. Maybe fantasy teams, people start to look at him. Dark horse for the Calder. Who knows? First line minutes, some power play time.
Good.
Well, he's one of those kids that we've been waiting for. You
Yeah,
know,
well,
like
yeah, him and Lombardi are the two that I'm hopeful get looks this year and maybe can latch onto the line by the end of the year. Same with Sandin Pellikka on defense. Um, yeah, we'll see. I think John Gibson and net with Cam Talbot as your backup is a great tandem.
Yeah.
And if one of the two get hurt, because that seems to always happen with our goalies,
Yeah.
Costa comes up and maybe he gets around 10 games started this year. So that I think the Wings are really set. And I loved Stevie Y's preseason presser where he ripped the one interviewer a new one when he's like, "Oh, is this your year where you look and you go, you got to make the playoffs?" And he goes, "Well, you know what? I know you think making the playoffs is what the season should be," and he goes, "But it's not what I look at all." And then the guy had the audacity to ask him about job security, and he's like, "Did you see that clip?"
no,
I
I did
think
And
so.
he's
not.
like,
Yeah.
I
he's
wish
like,
I did.
and he like furrowed his brow and like leans right in. He goes, "I have no worries." He says, "Me and Chris are on the same page. We want to build a team that's going to win multiple cups." He goes, "When it comes," he said something about job security to the interviewer and said, "You need to worry about maybe asking some more questions that are less introspective or less intrusive on my
On my
job
personal
security
or
or
whatever.
something like that." Like he kind of cooked the interviewer because the guy asked a couple rude questions in a row, and Stevie was kind of like, "All right, pal, it's enough
It was
out of you."
probably it was probably Jeff Rieger from the ticket because he that's his thing. He just goes for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was the one that had Stevie like stonewall him last year during that one presser that we were talking about, where he's just like no and no. Asked about Jake Wallman,
Oh yes.
so it
Oh
wouldn't
yes.
surprise me if it was Rieger. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was.
Hmm.
But
I mean he's
also,
entertaining, but also like sometimes I'm like, yo man, like that no, come on,
yeah,
like
like I wouldn't have the audacity to say hello to Steve Eiserman, let alone ask him a question about his job security. That's crazy.
yeah, the guy who literally put the team on his back in the 80s so that we could win in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be doing that, but I'm also not a radio reporter in
Ant
Detroit.
Ant wanted Stevie Y's head last year. Let's not forget. Ant was like,
I know. I still haven't forgot.
"Seriously?
Yeah.
You think Stevie should be fired?"
I I don't know if he should be fired, but like we need to fucking seriously start thinking about this soon here because it's like it's tell me what other guy in the league would be a would have a job like that, okay? Not make any playoff appearances and still have his job.
I think it goes back to what the state of the team was when he took over.
No, I get it, but just
We were
like
in shambles, homie. Like
I
and
know, I get
There
it,
was a
but
time, Ant, when Christopher N. Do you know who he is?
and EHN,
I
yes.
don't think you
yeah.
do, Ant, but he played on our first line. Okay, you know where he plays right now? He's putting up 20 points in the SHL.
we
That's what our
put
team was when
yeah,
Stevie Y came in.
and we
So,
were paying Abdulkader when he wasn't even playing either. So,
oh my gosh, don't even get me
Michigan State
started.
so
legend.
just saying.
Justin
But
Abdelkader is one of the worst hockey players I've ever seen in my
but
life. He had like, didn't he have like 2 points in 48 games? It was
I don't know. Yeah,
historically bad. And they weren't even goals. I'm going to look that up right now.
Ant's got to go soon, so
yeah.
make this
All right.
last point, and then we're gonna wap it up.
Justin Abdelkader. For anyone wondering, this guy was on our team playing top 6 minutes. Okay. 49 games played, 3 assists. What are we doing?
And now we've got Raymond and Larkin and
Mhm.
Kane.
Yeah,
And we've got
exactly.
DeBrincat,
So if
Seiler.
anyone uses their brains for 5 seconds,
Well, mine's off.
Stevie's not going anywhere.
I want to go to the playoffs.
You
For sure.
do?
And
So did the Maple Leafs.
Well,
Look at them now. Have they won a cup?
oh,
No.
I do think, and this will be my last point, I do think that getting John Gibson was a huge step forward to becoming a potential playoff team. And I hope it works out for them because the city and the fan base desperately
yeah,
wants them to
yeah.
be there. And I feel like the city deserves it. And I feel like playoff hockey at the new arena would be absolutely electric. They
Mhm.
were very close a couple of years ago. I talked to this about with my buddy from Rock Bottom the other day, Kevin Snyder. Loves the Wings. Moved from Vancouver to Windsor because he loved the Detroit Red Wings so much. Just picked up his life and moved out here because he wanted to be closer to the Detroit Red Wings.
Mhm.
Great bartender. He's a real estate agent now, but like we talked, he's like, we're close. He's like, I've been waiting, but we're close. He's like, I've been patient, but we're close. I was like, okay. So if he's got faith, I've got faith, but faith can be dwindled quickly. So I hope that they can stack good things each game, build some faith, and hopefully we're in the playoffs at the end of the regular season this year.
True faith cannot be broken.
True. Any
If
other things between the both of you?
Nope.
uh I just to all you Wings fans, be patient. Because if you want his head and Chris Ilitch does fire him, we're gonna look real silly when we start winning cups because of a roster he built. And then we've got some idiot GM behind the seat who's gonna ruin us and do the things that look good. We don't know the half of it, what it's like to be a GM and you're throwing around millions of dollars hiring and firing players. So
Mhm. The Tampa Bay Lightning looked pretty good as soon as he left. So
yeah, exactly. And then
look at
everyone's
the
like,
Build.
Julian Breezebois. Yeah, get out of here. Anyway,
Last thoughts, Ant. You get the last word.
Let's get out of here.
All right. From all of us at HCH, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you support our sponsors because they support us. Use your promo code HCH podcast at biosteel.ca to get 20% off your order, and use the same promo code HCH podcast for Howie's Hockey Tape to get 10% off your order there. From Ant and Tristan, I am Brett Hedges saying so long, and we'll see you next time on Hat Trick Hockey. Good night.
I've lost my